Doctors tell me that I'm doing a great job. I have had PhD offers. I'm in med school. I work full time. I have a degree. Any opinions that go directly against what these people think about themselves will completely be repressed, ignored, or they will be met with extreme defensiveness. I get messages and comments saying how disappointing it is that I'm promoting conspiracies to my following because I went to see Russell Brand's comedy show last night. How one-dimensional can you be that you lose your mind because someone likes something that you may not like, or that someone may enjoy the art of someone that you don't accept as an individual? To me, Amberlynn Reid's morality and outlook on life is incredibly skewed. I think when you can safely say Nick Ocado is a great person, Trisha Paytas is someone I look up to, your morality is slightly skewed because you choose to not see certain things. There's extreme defensiveness, sometimes even aggression, sometimes rage. The fact that I'm literally sat here seeing comments like, I can't believe you're supporting a right-wing conservative. What the fuck are you talking about? You need to fucking go outside and touch grass.
She started off by telling everyone that she was in med school. Then she said she was getting a PhD. It turns out that she was in an online master's program and didn't do very well grade-wise. She told everyone that she was a full-time SEN teacher. Then she was going to be working in a lab. Then all of a sudden she's now a therapist. She gives really aggressive, not like other girls energy. Like, she has made a comment at one point that, quote, she doesn't like men and other women tend to not like her. I have never met someone who claims that women don't like them. That isn't. Today we're going to be talking about Amberlynn Reid and, by extension, Young Dumb Honey Bun. If you're familiar with the Amberverse or the Goralverse or that entire shit show, you know what I'm about to say. All of a sudden, she changed it from behavioral therapist to therapist because I think she realized that she doxed herself by printing her degree. That's the thing. I wouldn't care. I actually wouldn't care. I don't think most people are trying to dox my degree or anything like that because I'm not claiming to be the girl boss of the century. The problem is that Sara really does think she's the next coming of Albert Einstein. But like, it really, you can tell it's insecurity. And like, she has these really weird, cringy portraits of white men of psychology in her house, and you could say whatever you want. She's passionate about psychology, but it just gives me the creeps because she always says these weird things about women, and her channel is off of hating women. Like, I actually don't know if I've seen her do a video on a guy, and if she has, that's my bias, but she tends to hate on women, and she says a lot of weird things about women. She literally says that women don't like her, and that is the verbiage of someone who treats women like they're like different, you know? I don't know. She's very not like other girls. That's possible. Now, a lot of her haters see it as, oh, well, she just got rid of the dog so she could get a brand new shiny dog. Oh, she replaced it with a new dog, you said? Yes. And she got an expensive breed. And it's like, it's not the kind of dog that wants to be in an expensive apartment in the city where it can't go outside all the time, and it kind of seems like she got it for like the Instagram bad bitch aesthetic, but that kind of reads hypocritical when you were criticizing Amber for obesifying a chihuahua when you're leaving your obese chihuahua to rot in your mom's backyard. She's this supposed animal activist, but it kind of seems like she's just hating on Amber and picking whatever she can to hate on her for. And then when people point out that she does something similar to Amber, then she's just like, well, unfollow me. And I just think it's infuriating because I think she thinks she's better than the people she's criticizing. That's the only thing that I can. Like, when her viewers ask her, why is your supposed big dog puppy not getting walked and not going out a lot? And she's like, oh, well, he's just a sleepy boy. He likes to sleep all day. But also she is walking him all he needs. And like, something's not adding up. That's all I'm saying. She is not this animal rights advocate that she claims to be. She has used most of her time on YouTube to call people narcissistic, pathological liars who will do anything for views. But she has proven that not only is she narcissistic enough to Photoshop her photos and lie about her weight loss journey within like weeks just so she can get Instagram clout, but she is petty enough to double down on it and block people if they try to call them out about it, which, I'm sorry, but when there's smoke, there's fire. A lot of people seem to have problems with her. To diagnose, I took a class on psychology in college, so she's allowed to diagnose Amber. I'm going to diagnose her. She can diagnose me. That's the thing. We've entered a new phase of the internet where she has opened the floodgates, and now there's a bunch of young kids who took a psych class at their community college, and now they're diagnosing people on the internet because Shane Dawson also called Jake Paul a sociopath. What a world. There have been many times where she has intentionally misrepresented things, and I would say it's safe to call her a pathological liar. For one, she lied about going to med school. I just think it's important that we call out these contradictions, because if she's allowed to do it to Amber, who is a lolcow, she does idiotic things on the internet for views. At this point, I feel like Sara is doing idiotic things for views, because if you see some of these photos she photoshops, it's so obvious, and she has a really nice body, so I have no idea what she's doing, making herself try to look like Gumby with like a full diaper.
So the first one is extremely high self-importance. The defining characteristic of a narcissist is extremely high idea of themselves and how important they are. More than just sort of arrogance and vanity, this goes beyond that. These people have such an unrealistic sense of superiority to everyone around them. They believe that they are unique, they are special, and they can only be understood by other special people. They are too good for anything ordinary, anything normal, and not only that, they will only associate themselves with someone who they see as an equal. The only person I will ever listen to is the person who I look up to. The only person. That's the only person. If you're a published clinician with X amount of experience, with a doctorate, with whatever, which is my next step. Reminded me so much of my videos, because in so many videos lately, I was like, just because you're a doctor doesn't mean fucking anything. Like, it doesn't mean that you know anything. You can get a doctorate in anything. So they really believe that they are better than everyone else. They're above everyone else, and they think that they deserve recognition of that, even though they haven't done anything to sort of prove it or to earn it. They will often exaggerate the things that they have done in life, or just outright lie about their achievements and their talents. When they talk about, you know, relationships or work, all you'll hear about is how good they are, how great they are. I have had fellow clinicians and even doctors tell me that I'm doing a great job. I have had PhD offers. I'm in med school. I work full time. I have a degree. Any opinions that go directly against what these people think about themselves will completely be repressed, ignored, or they will be met with extreme defensiveness. I'm getting messages and comments saying how disappointing it is that I'm promoting conspiracies to my following because I went to see Russell Brand's comedy show last night. How one-dimensional can you be that you lose your mind because someone likes something that you may not like, or that someone may enjoy the art of someone that you don't accept as an individual? To me, Amberlynn Reid's morality and outlook on life is incredibly skewed. I think when you can safely say Nick Ocado is a great person, Trisha Paytas is someone I look up to, your morality is slightly skewed because you choose to not see certain things. This extreme defensiveness, sometimes even aggression, sometimes rage. The fact that I'm literally sat here seeing comments like, I can't believe you're supporting a right-wing conservative. What the fuck are you talking about? You need to fucking go outside and touch grass.
If you're gonna make your money off of talking shit off of someone, you better be able to take it right. If you are going to make your full-time job making pretty harsh claims about people on the internet, you better at least hold yourself to a similar standard, you know? She said that it's not okay for Amberlynn to talk about her nipples being grabbed by her girlfriend, but we had to hear all about her nipple piercings, you know? She said it's not okay that Amber completely relies on YouTube as a full-time job, that she needs to pound that pavement, get other jobs, but it's very clear to me, at least, as somebody who's doing YouTube full-time, it is not that easy for me, at least, because I put a lot of effort into it, but she's streaming twice a week, she's posting constantly, trying to keep up with these girls, and she's supposedly a therapist, so all I'm saying is, there's no shame in YouTube being a full-time job, Sara, but just admit it. She's on social media more than ever. I don't know anybody with a full-time job, much less two, because she will, and the rest of us will laugh when Amberlynn says she knows better than a nutritionist. But Sara, who has no qualifications in behavioral science of dogs, she will actually clap back at a professional who is telling her that she is raising her dog improperly by locking him in a little apartment. A Cane Corso working dog does not want to be in a city, and it's not the end of the world to have that pointed out, but she can't handle any amount of criticism because any amount of criticism is too much, and that's my problem with her. You know, she makes some nuanced points, and she used to, I thought, come at it in good faith, but the problem is that if you cannot take it, you should not dish it. That is how I feel. I am fully expecting people to come at me saying that I'm being mean, saying that I hate women. Sara made an entire video laughing about how Amberlynn made an OnlyFans and then didn't deliver on it. But you know what Sara did? She made an OnlyFans and then she didn't deliver on it. it's like she speaks these things into existence. She is the embodiment of toxic positivity and just girl boss. Just pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Oh, you're overwhelmed because you're working 9 to 5 and you're burning the candle at both ends going to night school. Well, just get up earlier. Just get up early and do some work. That's what she says. Her self-care is getting up early and doing work. And then she has the audacity. She has the whole audacity to post her update yesterday. It was, "Hi, I'm so sorry about this. I've been really overwhelmed with balancing work and school and YouTube and personal life, but I promise I'm doing it." And it's like, and then she's posting her schedule, her stupid schedule for her stupid gaming streams. I'm sorry, it's stupid. She's not a gamer. She hates these games. She clearly hates them. Every time you join the stream, it's like watching paint dry because it's agonizing trying to see her navigate a game that she doesn't understand. And she's going to do it twice a week. And she's supposedly fully employed, but she can't manage to burn the candle at both ends. I made a post. I was like, if you are really struggling that much, Sarah, you could try streaming once a week. I couldn't even fit streaming in once a week because I am busy making other content. And I think she should be too, by the way. Not a lot of people criticize her for this, but I think she is wasting a platform of 80,000 subs by making the same Amberlynn video every day. Like, I really hope that she sees my video on her and it thinks, maybe I should do different content. She should expose me. I would love the attention. I mean, I'm actually doing her a favor, I think, because at least somebody will be talking about her in a way that's not Amberlynn, right? And you know what? I'm sure other people have done these videos about her, and more people will because she's getting nastier by the day. And I gotta say, it really rubbed me the wrong way when she knows. She clearly has struggled with an ED at some point in her life. Eating disorders, there's a community of eating disorders online. It is a cycle where people with eating disorders post about their eating disorders and talk about it with other people who have eating disorders, and they reinforce it in each other. And I really hate the way that she is playing into it by making fun of fat women and then having a perfectly normal body type that she completely filters, gets a bunch of fillers, filters that, photoshops the waist in, makes the butt look bigger, and then says, "Oh, it's all these gains I've been doing while girl bossing, working a full-time job, and doing YouTube 9 to 5. But I'm really overwhelmed. But I'm also really happy." It's like, make it make sense. You know the people who watch Amberlynn very likely struggle with eating disorders too. And you have the whole audacity to tell them to just leave if they're triggered by what you've been making. If I was making content that was causing my followers to relapse, I would be like, what am I doing? Should I stop? Maybe you don't have to, but you could just think about it, But she doesn't take that moment. Like, it's interesting. There's this moment, I had a moment of clarity when I saw the way she clapped back at people about Russell Brand. And it's like, oh, so she's really going to act like she's mediating and playing both sides. I've seen some weird blends of social media accounts, like the last person I talked about, Trisha, was trying to blend OnlyFans and TikTok. But Sara is trying to blend her Instagram and YouTube, where on YouTube, it's all about being like, let's make fun of fat people. It is. Like, she can say, it's like, no, it's the psychological aspects. But she really hasn't said anything that she hasn't said, and most of what she talks about is the eating and the food and the disgust, and she reacts with disgust to video clips of Amber eating, and that's what she makes money off of, And I'll show some clips, the clips of her, and it's not high effort. It's not. And she's trying to mix this. I hate these fat lol cows. I'm a tattooed bad bitch on Instagram who is such a fitness baddie that she can post her gains in a day. And if you try to marry those two together, they're bound to not work. And that is why she's bleeding followers, she's bleeding engagement, and she is trying new things, but she's unable to accept that she is the problem. So if, for whatever reason, she watches this video, she should know that this is being made as a reminder that you can change. You can listen and grow. It's okay to not always be right. I actually used to genuinely enjoy her content. Interestingly, it was before the neckbeard. And I know that's a mean thing to say about it, but it is all I can see ever since somebody pointed it out. Because I would never get a chin tattoo, and that is because it would add to my dysphoria, It's the same reason I would never get a throat tattoo, because it would highlight my Adam's apple, But she has the privilege of not having that problem. But she clearly has other forms of dysphoria because she's getting fillers. She's had a Brazilian butt lift. She's getting all these surgeries, and she's trying to Photoshop herself into a Kardashian, and she's making fun of women with eating disorders on the internet, and she's claiming to be in med school as a therapist. And all while doing it, she's making a lot of money. A lot of people have attributed the decline of her channel to the fact that Amber's channel is dying. And for the fact that that is true, but I'm going to say for benefit of the doubt that she's actually declining at a rate faster than other reaction channels that I see, like Zachary Michael, Alex is Shook, and some people have said that there's sexism involved, but I don't think a community so dedicated to hating on women can really start decrying sexism now of all times. Like, don't get me wrong, there is a valid truth that there are more male reaction channels that are received better, but I think that more goes to show that there are just less women that are, like, willing to make fun of lol cows online for money. You know? Sara happens to be one of them. And her first scandal was really her first, I guess, introduction into lol cowdom, because she was essentially crossing a line. A fan had done a drawing, basically, of Amber. It wasn't exactly Amber, but it was drawn in Amber's likeness, and they were like, oh my god, this is so funny. It was during Amber's famous rant where she called everyone a disrespectful piece of shit and said she was so much better than everyone, and it was so funny to laugh at Amber. But Sara goes around and makes merch off of it with Amber's face on it. And yeah, it's not a picture of Amber, but it really does look like her. And she got called out. People were really, really not happy. And you know what Sara said? Do you think that she was at all open to the criticism? Do you think she was... Because, you know, she's always talking about both sides. Crazy idea, listening to people who don't agree with you.
So it's such a weird feeling. And once again, I want to reiterate, 100% of the time this has happened, it was American viewership of mine. And I don't know what they teach you there. I don't know what it is that you feel the need to paint people either as right or wrong with everything. You, time and time again, I've talked about this.
Not only that, she wasn't just acting like it wasn't happening. Then there were comments being left that she was genuinely, like, fighting back at, like, oh, well, she doesn't care about herself, so why should I care about her? Well, she's monetizing her addiction, so why can't I? And it's like, why should you be able to just because she does? And so she posts this really, really reluctant, like, hey guys, okay, fine, let's address this. Some people are mad, so... And it was just, to me, it left a sour taste in my mouth. I actually think this was when I unsubscribed, because for me, this was a step too far. Like, her laughing at Amber's Snapchat rant where she called everyone a disrespectful piece of shit, that was funny. But then she tried to profit off of it, and it was really bad timing for her because this was right when Amber was diagnosed with cancer. I think that happened after. So these two things hit Young Dumb Honey Bun's channel initially, and it at least hurt her image. And once we sidled into the Becky breakup era, I actually think that was the peak of her channel, because so many... Oh my god, I just took my... I just wiped some eyeshadow. So many channels got into Amberlynn reacting during the Becky breakup, and they were specifically able to pick apart Amberlynn in all these embarrassing live streams where she's just really, really mean to Becky. And so there was material for Sara to work with, and this was when she was getting 100,000, 200,000 views. But she was also starting to just say really nasty things about Amber. Like, before, she would be like, you need to work on your relationship with food and go to a therapist. Now it's, you need to stop eating. And there was an energy shift. It became like almost as if she thought she was better. And she does do this. She does act like she's better than people. And I'm just going to say, she's always talking about how it's just like, oh, so you're canceling me for being associated with someone right-wing, so we can't both sides it? Well, I'm just mediating both sides. And it's like, are you? And then she goes on to say, I love him. He's the best man I've ever met. I would sing, I would tap dance for him, I would donate both of my kidneys for him, I would surrogate for his, like, she literally rave reviews this.
I don't know if maybe because Russell Brand was married to Katy Perry, you have a certain view of him and you haven't kept up with his work. I don't know. Maybe you think that, like, every single person who doesn't agree with like big governments and stuff is like a cultist or a whatever conspiracy head, and maybe, I don't know. I'm not into that. Like, I just listen to his podcasts now and then, you know, like I really like his comedy style. His show Messiah was really, really good. I really recommend it. And he's just a good bloke, and it's just so weird to me that you can be so angry towards someone simply going to a comedy show. So just, you know, regardless, seeing all these people there saying like, at one point being like, I wanted to unalive myself, I wanted to end my life, and because of you I didn't, and yours was the first kind of, you know, advice that really stuck and things like that. And he was talking about how important it is to accept help in recovery, and, you know, he was talking about his children and things like that. It was just wonderful. So yeah, just take care of yourself and go outside and don't take the internet too seriously and touch grass, because it's really not that deep. And if you simply don't like a content creator, you don't have to watch them. You don't have to watch him. You don't have to watch me. You don't have to watch any of them. You don't have to keep up with them. You don't have to tell them how disappointed you are, because reality is that we're busy doing other stuff. But I just was so taken aback, because I was like, what? Like, how can you call someone and as soon as they said right wing, I was like, okay, so they're not British, clearly, because we don't say that. And it's just so weird, because even last night he was like talking about how, you know, he doesn't want all the people that are controlling like all the resources and money to make us feel like we're not working hard enough. And he was also talking about how we like don't need the government, and he thinks we have enough like a love within ourselves to like have little communities like back in the day, which again, don't really agree with that, to be honest. I think it's a deeper conversation, but it was nice to listen to someone else's. Here's a kicker, listen to this, because this might be new to you. Listen to another person's perspective you may not necessarily agree with, in peace and acceptance. What? Yeah, crazy, huh? So it was nice to listen to him, even though I didn't agree with a lot of the things he was saying, and I thought, you know, maybe I'm just so brainwashed by consumer capitalism that I don't really, I don't know, you know, maybe it's because I'm like privileged or whatever. So I was like, and you know, I don't know if that would work and things like that. But maybe. But it was nice just to listen to it, and it was nice to see all these people coming together and sharing their inspirational stories. And it's crazy to me that people were like, someone was like, this right wing conservative, whatever. And he was literally sat there yesterday being like, I think people should be free to love whoever they want to love. I think people should be able to do whatever they want to do, even if someone doesn't like. The whole thing was just incredible. If you haven't been, please go. It's really, really cool. The comedy is also so fucking funny. I was literally sat crying, laughing at some of the jokes. At one point, he literally took a moped from one of the people in the audience and was like scooting around, almost fucking ran someone over. He had a dog on stage. It was just so good. The dog was his like service anxiety dog, and it was really nice. He was talking about it.
This guy, after starting being like, I cannot believe you guys think I'm condoning this guy. And then she has a whole rant where she's just like, Russell Brand saved my life. He explained to me that cult leaders are charismatic, and then afterwards I walked out and I was just so inspired by his words. And it's like, oh my god, this is hilarious if it wasn't so dark, because even this was the one time I think in Amberverse history where Amber came out looking like a real queen. She just said about Young Dumb Honey Bun, she's like, it's sad because she wouldn't be able to sell merch of her own or have viewers if it wasn't for me. Poor girl. And then Amber said, I just went to her channel and the only time she would get good views was when she was making videos about me. So I guess she's back to making videos about me. And I do hate it when people like shame others for their views, because the truth is, Amber, you aren't special because the algorithm loves it when people make fun of you eating. Like, that's just the algorithm, you know? I wish the algorithm pushed good videos, but instead, I get videos of Sara just being a high school bully to Amber. Because Sarah's made how many videos? At this point, she's not both sidesing anything. She's not standing up for some kind of rights holding Amber accountable. No, she's just being a bully. You're like, yeah, I think reaction channels and commentary channels have their place, especially considering I don't think that people should be watching Amber at this point. I do think Amber should be deplatformed. But I think that Sara has let her platform go to her head. And she does not realize that she's becoming what she claims to hate. And all of this, oh, well, I I guess you guys may not know about this, but over here in the UK, we hear out people who disagree with us. And then someone's like, I'm actually kind of disappointed in you. And she's just like, well, then unfollow me then. And it's like, okay. And she's like, oh, well, I know that over there they teach you, like, how to be racist and how to, like, be really, like, divided, blue, red, but we're just, like, really open-minded in the UK, and we don't have, like, problems like gentrification or, like, you know, it's really just a both sides issue. And, like, she'd had this 7-minute Snapchat rant in which she explains to us basically the opposite of what she was trying to say. At first she was like, guys, you know, I can go to someone's show without being obsessed with them, without needing to advocate for them, without, you know, but then she goes on to be obsessed about this man, obsessed about his message, rave review his show, rave review his message, say that all he means is peace and love, and he has a dog on stage. How cute, for his anxiety. And, like, just be honest. Just own it. If people are calling you out just being like, I'm disappointed to see you with Russell Brand, you can be honest and say, I like him. You don't have to be, wow, so you think I'm associating with him? Because it really is ironic when you were like caught like a week earlier ranting about how Amberlynn should be held accountable for Chantal's actions. So where's that same energy for yourself? Oh yes. And that's where we tie it all together. Young, dumb, hypocrite. I hope you can see why I'm making this video, because we live now in an era of YouTube where most of the people who have careers on YouTube are just people who talk shit about people who have careers on YouTube. And I am now becoming part of that problem because I have a career on YouTube. So, if you want to help me, you can comment down below, you can subscribe, you could share this with your friends. If you also have, like, if you're like me and you used to watch Sara and you wish she could have like a wake-up call and think she's kind of out of touch at this point with all of her Snapchat rants at the haters and being like, touch grass. She's like, oh, you guys, you don't take social media so seriously, while she's ranting at her phone, responding to every comment, blocking everyone. And it's like, why don't you guys go outside and touch grass? And it's like her 50th story of the day. Do you know what I mean? Like, Sara, we can tell that something's wrong. So, this has been too long. So I'm gonna end this here. But if I get at least like 1K views on this video, I'm gonna start calling you all my little pog champs. Do you like that? Will you actively not watch this video if you hear that, just so I don't call you my little pog champs? Or will you maybe comment down below to tell me to not call you my little pog champs?